Greetings from the far side of the galaxy. I'm Fury, your host with the most, to bring you a story about Ghost. Well, actually a story about some very guilty gears. If I named this video correctly, you should all know what you're in for. To celebrate its confirmation as DLC number 3, I'm running you through every bit of lore we have on everyone's favorite gun-wielding Smurf. But before we do that, please do be sure to like and subscribe since it helps out this channel a lot. Now sit back, relax as I tell you everything you need to know about
Happy Chaos. That's my name, but a name's all it is.
The first thing you should know about Happy Chaos is that he's not actually Happy Chaos. The real Happy Chaos was a Valentine made to fuse with Eno to make her fully human. Basically, they were supposed to do what Jack O almost did in Strive's story. Mr. Smurf literally overheard the name and decided to make it his own. Next, Guilty Gear spin-off game, Guilty Gear Identity Theft, featuring Phoenix Wright as a guest character. Anyways, the real identity of the Blue Man Group's missing member is actually a very long story. It begins long ago when a philosopher, of all people, manages to enter the backyard. The backyard is sort of like a blueprint for reality. By understanding it and its energies, you can do things that defy the rules of nature, that being magic. However, the backyard is incredibly dense with information. It crushes most things like it's the bottom of the ocean. Despite this, the philosopher manages to return alive. From that place, the philosopher learns magic, which he teaches to a few disciples. One of those disciples being Asuka R. Kreutz, also known as That Man, and the Gear Maker, and the Devil, apparently. And due to being the original magic wielder, the philosopher becomes known as the Original. Ironically, not a very original name. And surprisingly enough, that guy, the Original, is the Happy Chaos we know. That is the origin, of Happy Chaos's many magical abilities, such as brainwashing, mask making, item generation, property imitation, and the most important ability of them all, driving stick. But now some of you may be asking, how the hell did that guy become this guy? And to that I say, hold on, we're getting there. You see, Justice, a kind of magical bioweapon known as a gear, kind of maybe went on a genocide against all of humanity. Yes, I know that sounds insane, but please save the questions for my eventual Justice or Crusades video. P.S. Subscribe to know when those are out. As I was saying, during Justice's rampage, humanity wished for an almighty savior, a messiah. And those wishes coalesced into the person we call Eno. But before those wishes could be fully realized, the Original intervened. The Original used his immense magical powers to literally split her existence in two. One half contained her power, that is the Eno we know. It's why she can stop time and stuff. And the other half was the intent, the desire all those wishes carried. Here's the part where I tell you about the robot AI kinda thing that the Original created. Said robot was known as the Universal Will, also known as Ariels and the Pope of Juggalos, the main antagonist of Guilty Gear Xrd. The Universal Will is basically a robot the Original created that was supposed to help humanity. Thankfully, she's not important, so I won't really get into her now. For ease of speaking, let's just call this robot Ariels, even if it wouldn't actually become Ariels until much later. Unfortunately, Ariels would get a wee bit genocidal. In a bid to keep the Original from stopping her, she locked him inside herself and then fused him with the intent. That drove the Original slightly insane, creating the Happy Chaos we see now. It mutated his body, turning him blue and letting him regenerate from just about anything. He also exists outside of time like Eno and Axel, so while he can't stop time himself, he can still perceive it. This fusion with the intent is why Chip says he's too pure in Strive's story. Because the Original had become a vessel of pure, unrelenting desire, with the nearly infinite knowledge of the backyard behind him. And what that desire desired was entertainment. He used what little ability he had to interact with the world to, well, entertain himself. He found happy people to be stagnant. He wanted to see humans struggle and strive for their goals. And to that end, he sometimes had to, how should I put this, give people goals. He's the one that killed Biken's family and the one that pissed off Bedman's sister, Delilah. His love for chaos is him simply trying to keep his favorite show from getting boring. However, his danger was limited, locked away as he was inside Ariel's. Or that was the case until Ino freed him at the beginning of Strive's story. From here on out, you can witness his actions for yourself in Strive story mode. It follows the original under the name of Happy Chaos and his desire to fulfill Ino's wish to be whole again, finally mixing the intent with the power to finally create a fully realized Messiah. That was the meaning behind that Melpico thing from Strive's story.
Ah, Melpico. My favorite. But, you see, if you let it sit, the water and serum separate. Here, see? People are just like Melpico. You see, the syrup is the all-human desire, and the water is their survival instinct as living beings. Just plain old water would be bland, and the syrup on its own would be too thick. But when you mix them together... Perfection.
Happy Chaos's title, the gun-slinging Broken Messiah, refers to the fact that he's the original. The man who saved humanity after they banned technology but went insane. But more importantly, it refers to the fact that he's literally half of Ino, making him one half of a broken Messiah. However, Happy Chaos himself was the one who prevented them from mixing, breaking the Messiah, so... what epiphany did he have inside Ariel's that changed his mind? What changed his mind was mostly Ino herself. The fact that Ino, a being who literally had her intent, her desires stolen from her, wanted so strongly to be whole again. In a world where it seemed like everyone wanted a tranquil peace, seeing her strive to avoid a boring dull world struck a chord with a man who loves to see humans strive. How ironic that the boring gray future she foretold was caused by becoming complete. But Ino's happiness wasn't Happy Chaos's only concern. Look at the final part of what Happy Chaos says in the clip right here.
When everything became possible, we lost our ability to accomplish anything. But she still says she wants a future. If this world holds value, I will show it to her at all costs! Right now, I exist!
Right now, I exist. Happy Chaos wanted to justify his own existence. Remember, Happy Chaos has the mindset of an audience member. His own existence was a Chekhov's gun. He was undeniably a part of this world, so there must be a role for him in this world, this story. As the intent, his purpose was to be complete with Ino, but he was unable to fulfill that role. Think back to another one of his stupid metaphors. When he asked what came first, the chicken or the egg, and the answer was the omelet. While that may sound stupid at first, what he's really saying is that before someone got a chicken that laid an egg, someone wanted an omelet. Ergo, since Happy Chaos is the intent, the purpose behind his existence is to be complete with Ino. The idea of the purpose behind one's existence is a major theme of Strive's story. Contrast Happy Chaos's idea that things only exist for a specific purpose to Soul's creation of the Outrage, a literal god-killing weapon he made as a hobby. Side note, how messed up is it that Soul creates WMDs for fun? Dude basically built a nuke for shiggles and gits. To get back on topic and to sum up, Happy Chaos is the original, the man who brought magic to the world. That knowledge gives him incredible powers which was supplemented with the intent. What drove him insane was being poisoned with the intent that was supposed to go into Ino to make her the messiah she was supposed to be. Locked inside Ariel's, he fell into the mindset of an audience member since all he could do was watch the world. And he helped Ino to keep the story interesting and to justify his own existence. There, that's all the keynotes, and be sure to write them down because they will appear on the quiz. All in all, Happy Chaos is a very weird guy. There's still a lot of stuff we don't know about him, but his final words do imply that he would return if Soul and crew beat Ino. If he'll be a good guy or reprise his role as an antagonist can't be said. All I can say with reasonable certainty is that he's going to be hella good fun to play in December. I do intend to make a video about his gameplay when it happens, so subscribe, maybe, I don't know, just a thought, it really mean a lot to me. But that is everything to know about Happy Chaos, or at least my understanding of it. Guilty Gear's story is weird, and I may have missed a detail in the Pachinko game, which is a real thing by the way, so do fill in the missing tidbits in the comment section. I'll probably follow up this video with one explaining Ino, or maybe some other weird concept in the Guilty Gear world. But for now, do me a solid and like this video and share it because the algorithm loves it when you do that. And as always, this is your host Fury signing out.